Hello, my name is Pietie Beyers and welcome to the So Loop Hy Maar podcast. I'm doing this in English, as you will hear very soon. One of our guests on the show today is English. I'm super insanely crazy, weirdly excited because I'm speaking to Chane Grobler and Roberto de Gouveia. I wasn't okay, so you get social media. Obviously, I'm 33 years old now. At university, there was Facebook. There used to be MySpace, and obviously Instagram, TikTok. I recently joined TikTok because as a actor, I felt like I need to be, relevant with or current with the times, and I felt like I need to be relevant on social media. And it's very, very interesting how quite recently, I thought, social media is so noisy, it's so cluttered, my ego is so attached to it, and my content isn't necessarily always the best. Do I want to be on social media? How active should I be? And then it's so weird how serendipitously life works. And recently, Alicia van Deventer from Starburst Promotions, the excellent PR company in Joburg, reached out to me and spoke to me about two people she has that works with her. Now, these are two of South Africa's and Africa's biggest TikTok stars. They are internationally known. I've learned to know more and get to know them on a digital level and got to connect with them now in studio at the incredible Muse Studios, the most beautiful sound studios and audio studios in Johannesburg. This podcast is absolute information and generous. It's cool to meet people who are, look, Chane's got more than 2 million followers. Robbie or Roberto de Gouveia has got more than 1 million. And Chane's been nominated for a Nickelodeon Prize. It's quite incredible, their credentials. And she makes a living from it. But it's so cool to realize how people that from the outside are so successful and, do well financially or however you want to see it, are human beings. That's what we all have in common. For me, that is cool as a insecure, at times, normal, whatever you want to call it, just a human being. It's so cool getting to know the person behind the profile. So let's get to know the people behind the profiles. And thank you, Muse Studios. This episode is sponsored and recorded at Muse Studios in Joburg. Thanks, everyone. Much love. Enjoy this awesome episode. Lekker. Soos ek sê, if there's I'm interested in you guys, it's so fucking cool what you guys do. From an outsider's perspective, hier record jy. Go, maak jouself gemaklik.
Ja, gaan 'n bietjie nader skuif.
Ja.
Ek sê heeltyd teen die mic.
Ja, perfect. Daar's geen reels eintlik nie.
The thing moves forward there, you know that, right?
I know, but I don't want to adjust it too much. I moved it a little.
Okay.
So now.
Bubble bait.
Are you
I'm
okay?
here.
Nice. We're riding. Hier Muse Studio, are we rolling? Beautiful. Okay. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for
Thank you for
having us.
having us.
Thank you for coming through. It's so amazing having you guys here. It's lekker meeting you.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you. This is my first podcast in studio.
I'm saying this off.
Yeah.
I've had a podcast where I did it over. We kind of phoned in. Kind of vibe.
Yes.
It's my first one in studio, so I'm super excited.
And
Yeah.
it is. And it's a cool, it's not, if I would have sounded arrogant if I said it's a cool studio, it was my studio. It's not my studio, it's Muse Studios, but it is rad.
But I mean, set the bar. Now, whoever wants me on the podcast now, next I see something similar. Otherwise, the bar's set, bro.
The bar's set, but that's the thing. We sometimes do it if we're not in the same city than the people, then our guests are, then we have to do it over Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it does, the sound is a lot different.
Yeah, it is a little different.
But thank you so much. It's epic having you guys
This
here.
is exciting being
That's
here.
very nice.
So just for the listener, I'll record an intro separately, but
Okay, cool.
can you just introduce yourself so that we can hear your name said like it should be said, both of you?
Okay, start.
Oh,
Jy kan
don't put me
begin.
on this
En
spot.
just as a ding vir die luisteraar, I'm so excited for this podcast. So Chane
Yeah.
is, ek sal obviously intro voor te doen. Jy is Afrikaans, maar vir die ease of Robbie, you English. Can I say Robbie? Eh?
Yeah, Robbie's cool.
We'll just keep it in English. That's maybe
Yeah.
going to be easier. Okay, maar Chane, ja, so jy net jouself kan voorstel.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Chane Grobler. I'm 21 years old and I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, that's love. I love that little thing you added. Yeah,
Okay, so I'm Roberto, Robbie, better known as King Berto.
King Birdo. Love
And yeah, I'm 27 and I'm hanging out with Pity Beyers.
that. Nice, bro.
You say his name better than I do.
That is proper. That is nice.
I feel like you got such a cool name to say because you get to do that thing with your mouth. You go Beyers.
It's from
Like you said, the
Afrikaans.
R and the S at the same time. Beyers.
Yes,
That's so
exactly,
cool.
bro. But okay, so full name is Roberto de Gouveia.
Yeah.
It's Portuguese.
Roberto Miguel Mohammed Gouveia.
Oh, that's badass. Okay, so not only are you... We're going to go through, so I've prepared some questions. We'll cruise through whatever you guys feel comfortable with. But just as a start, you guys are also, I'm assuming it's not a secret, you guys are also, individually, you guys are, you know, for lack of a different term or a very flattering term, TikTok stars. You've got do different things as well. We'll get there. But you're also in a relationship. How did you
Yes.
meet? Like, can you just take us, paint the context, please?
Okay, can I go?
Yeah,
Yes.
take it up.
Okay, so we didn't meet like your typical people in a club or a bar over DM and
Or
stuff like that.
Discam. I feel like a lot of people meet each other at Discam.
This game.
Yeah, that's like a place that people like meet, eh? It's
That's
crazy.
the first that I've heard of
Because
that.
women are looking for things they don't need already in the Discam, so go find them there. You
Oh,
find them.
wow.
That is hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally spent a lot of disc game yesterday already.
Yeah, and it's all things you didn't really need.
Yeah, that you convinced me to get.
That is,
You see?
that's, Discam, if you want to sponsor this podcast, we're open.
We're keen.
Yes.
So we met on TikTok. I was scrolling through my For You page and saw his face and I thought, this is an American guy. And I was like, scroll. And then a couple of times, weeks later, I saw him again and again and again. And I was like, okay, wait. Go check his profile. And I was like, oh, this man's a South African.
Yes.
So then I followed him and he already followed me and said, follow back.
That's how you know.
oh,
She's cute. What was I going to do?
Yeah.
And then we followed each other. We didn't talk at all. And then one day, my mom was scrolling through her For You page and said, that cute Portuguese guy's live. And I was like, oh, I know who you're talking about. And I went to go check and I joined. And he was like, Chane Grobler is on my live. It's that Afrikaans school that I told you guys about. And he's talking to his friends. And I was like, Afrikaans school. Love that.
Yeah.
Was I wrong though?
No, it's true. It's
Don't wanna be-
descriptive.
yeah.
I don't want to be known as Afrikaans.
Yeah, I don't want to be
wanna
known as the Afrikaans school. I'm Chane, okay.
Yeah.
And I think we were friends, chatted it over Instagram, then over WhatsApp, became close, and then we met at a meet and greet that I invited him to. So we can meet some influencers on the app, people that create content, and then people that follow us. If they're in the area, they can come meet us because they always ask, listen, I want to meet you. How would we go about that? So we said, no, we're going to be at Mainland Mall was where we went. And I asked them, listen, do you want to come? I know you're from Gauteng, at least. I know it's a bit of a drive, but you can come through. You can tell your followers. They can come say hi to you.
Yeah.
And we can meet up as well. And that's the day I met him. And we were friends for over a year. Well, I liked him very much. I did. And he was so, playing very, very,
Cool.
very hard to get.
Really?
Hard to get.
Not hard to get if you're not hard to win. So.
Is it? Yes, he was a difficult one.
Yeah.
No, but he said he wanted to build up friendship very.
Let's hold on to that rather.
Yeah.
So she was taking it as, he's playing hard to get. He doesn't want to just jump into this relationship.
I thought this man just wasn't interested in me.
And I was like, nah. The way I see a relationship, it's got to be something where you build a friendship first. Because after all the sparks and the beginning stages are all done, you have to have something to work
100%.
with. You know what I mean? So I wanted someone who's going to be my best friend. At the end of the day, she's my best friend.
Yeah.
I do everything with her. If she's not invited, I don't go. It's just that kind of
same.
thing. So I wanted a best friend more than I needed a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So that's not what I was looking for. I was like, nah, give me a best friend. Give me something different.
Yeah.
Something that's show me you different than anyone else. And that's essentially what I was looking for. So she kind of
cool.
took it as me looking like, oh no, I don't want you wait there 5 minutes.
I thought
But I
that's
was
what
like-
you wanted. I thought, no, I'm too Afrikaans for him.
Wow, that's hectic.
But okay, so just to track back, I love the vibe between you guys. I can just see this as like the good energy and the absolutely. So just to track back a bit, the initial like following back. This is like proper modern day love story, and I think so many people like meet like that nowadays. How does it work exactly? So can you, if you send him a look, I joined TikTok recently, and I'm going to speak about my. Yeah, we'll get there. But can you DM him on TikTok, because you guys have big followings, so you can't just get DM'd by. How did you know what I'm saying?
There is, from like everyone's profile has an option who can send you DMs. It can be your friends, it can be no one, and then it can be everyone. So I have mine set to friends and you as well.
Yeah.
So you can only DM someone that you follow and they follow you back.
Yes.
So I didn't DM him on TikTok because I DM'd him on Instagram.
Yes.
It slid into my DMs.
Yeah,
just like, wow.
actually.
Yes.
What did I say? No, congratulations on something.
Yeah, congratulations on hitting some milestone. She's like, I'm super proud of you.
I took that
And
as
I was like,
Thanks, man.
thanks. Like, I've never spoken to you, but I'm glad you're proud of me.
No,
Appreciate it.
That's sweet. But
that was my...
But it's so cool. So, but both of you, okay, I'm going to speak, please correct me if I'm wrong, at any stage. Do, like, both of you are, in a way, well, pioneers, definitely, to my understanding, in South Africa. How did your, like, social media, TikTok journey individually, miskien Chane kan ons by jou begin.
Yes.
Where did it start? Like, I've read a bit on it up on the internet and wat ook al, maar maybe net soort vir die listener ook kan weet, like, where did it start? Because now it's like between the two of you, there's like more than 3 million followers just on TikTok.
Yeah.
And we'll get to brands and all that kind of thing.
Cool.
Maar waar het begin?
Okay, so I'm gonna go English here.
Yes, 100%.
So I was in high school still when I downloaded TikTok. Well, it was Musically back in the day. So it was Musically, I think, from 2014, and then in 2018. TikTok bought Musically. So I was on Musically. I was one of the first South African recognized people. So influencers, they weren't really big. We had Lasizwe, we had Nadia Jafta, but they were not on TikTok. They were Facebook and Instagram. So they were like the well-known influencers, but they weren't really on TikTok. They're there now. But I was one of the first people, I think probably, let's say, top 10 first people that got Musically and made...
And had some sort of following on.
Yeah, I had some sort of following.
Did you say 2014?
No, I didn't start then. That's when the app started.
Oh, got you.
I think Byte Dance.
Yes.
Made they made the app.
Yeah.
I had the app forever, I think, since 2015 and watched the videos, but I did not have any interest in making videos on there because I had no idea what the people were doing. I was like, how do you do this? Like, how do you turn your phone? How do you
I feel like the app is a little bit overwhelming if you don't.
If you're just a watcher.
If
you're just a watcher and you just downloaded it and you're like, well, how did they do this? This is like special effects.
Especially before the whole culture started. No one, it was like new, like, what is this? And it's
so
exposing,
new.
I suppose, at first. You're like, what are people going to think? What are, you know?
Definitely.
So I saw Musically's videos on Instagram. So I was like, okay, there's the app logo. So I'm going to go download it. I got it and I watched it for the longest time. And then eventually, I think in 2017, December, I think, I dabbled into the camera part of it. This is going to fall off.
Perfect.
And I made videos and I was like, no, this is going to stay in the drafts. No one can see this. This is cringy and embarrassing. No one can see this.
Yes.
And I think in the beginning of 2018, my mom told me, just post something.
Yeah.
Like, you always spend so much time in your room making videos, but it's not going anywhere. No one's seeing it. It doesn't help you put in this time if you don't post it. So eventually I posted it. Didn't go anywhere. I got my mom, my grand, and my brother to like my videos. 3 likes.
Nice.
Just that. And then I had my own views of rewatching my videos. And everything was in black and white, no color. Very cringy.
Yeah, she had like a theme going on.
Yeah, I had a black and white theme going on there. It was
we all start somewhere, yeah?
Yes. I privated most of those videos. Sheesh. And I think eventually one of my videos got like 60 likes, and I was like, oh, people are seeing me. This is so
Yes.
cool. And that was also still a black and white video of me just pulling faces. And
Let
then
me tell you, the faces you used to pull,
I wasn't curious.
stuff you put on Instagram right now.
Yeah.
Well, I would put it on Instagram.
No.
Powerful content.
Let's not do that. And then I obviously kept going and did my thing. Didn't
Yeah.
really worry if anyone was seeing it.
Yeah.
And then one of my videos got on the For You page of the Americans.
Oh my gosh.
And
How does that happen? If it's
it just
like,
falls into the algorithm picks it up.
if it's popular enough, if
Yeah.
there's quite a bit of traction on it, then they.
Yeah,
And
so
TikTok
I think
realised
I think
people
it
are
also
enjoying
was a little bit easier to get onto the American For You page because the South African base wasn't as big as it is now.
Yes.
So it's like now if we have to post a video and it does really well, it'll kind of split 50-50 between America and
South
South Africa.
Ah, okay.
So back then, America had basically the database of all their
Yeah.
followers. So if it did
Yes.
really well, it was because it was doing well there.
Okay.
Now it can be either way. I mean,
Yeah.
it literally could even be even India. There was a stage where I had more Indian followers than I did South African and American.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. So
Like AB
Yeah.
de Villiers.
there
Huge in the IPL.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. And okay, so die groot one video wat nou For You in Amerika geland het.
That wasn't even a big one. This one just landed in America and got about 36,000.
Yes.
So it wasn't even the big one that gave me that boost. And that one got me to about 6,000.
Okay.
And then gradually I got to 10.
You mean followers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. We're getting myself and the listeners are we getting TikTok lingo.
Yeah.
We're getting a
Picking it up.
climatized.
The lingo.
Yes.
And then I gradually got my followers as videos that kind of good, kind of didn't, till about, I think, 13,000. And then it like just stagnated and was
Yes.
there. And then I made a video
how long did it take you to get there though?
Yeah.
to that. Yeah, way
To-
longer than you.
I'm just asking in general as a genuine question.
No, I appreciate it because I think Roberto's helping me to. He knows what the listener wants to hear.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I feel the same. Like so, since starting musically up until this point, now you landed in
It
For
took
You,
long.
but like 5 years
Okay,
or like
no.
like 2-3 years, kind of.
No. Till the 13,000 probably took, let's say, 6-7 months.
Okay.
So it took about that long.
Yes.
And then I made a video with my one guy friend from school, and I
Yeah.
asked him, listen, let's make this video. And it was a video of him and I standing next to each other, and then there's like a song beat drop thingy, and as soon as that beat goes,
Yes.
the clothes change, like as a
Yes.
transition, and then I wear
Whatever
his
she's wearing, he was wearing.
Ah,
Whatever he was wearing,
yes.
changed
yeah.
to
So
what she was
we swapped clothes,
and that's something that you can do on the app, like edit. It's or something that
No, you just it's a
kind of
transition.
like stop recording.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
And we kept doing that the whole video, probably like 3 or 4 clothes swaps.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was cool. Okay, cool, fun, post. And by the next day, I think I had like 500,000 likes on it. So that one did very good.
But sorry, can I interrupt you every now and again? Because just to inform us that don't know, is it simply because the video does well, people like it, then it gets liked more and it falls into the algorithm, or is it also like you need to gooi in hashtags for it to be registered more, or is it like or is it more just like the algorithm picks up the popularity of it?
I think that's the song at that moment was trending.
Yes.
So that counts. Hashtags, I really think is a give or take. I don't really know if hashtags do much.
Yeah.
I throw them in there in case they do.
Yeah, it's
So-
it's kind of like I'd rather have it than not have it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd rather have it and need it. Have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yes.
thing.
So I don't
Nice,
think I've
bro.
ever posted a video without hashtags.
Like that.
It's philosophical.
Yes, you've got a few. Every now and again, Robbie comes through with these like beautiful gems of
Yeah.
wisdom. Yeah, but I love it. Puts it all into perspective. Okay, you big one, 500,000 likes. Okay, now we're
And that
talking.
was-
And now you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, this is not my granny and my mom just liking it anymore. That's a big.
So
That
that was-
feels
Yeah, that was insane to me. And I think that pushed me. I think I got like 30,000 followers in a day. And then
Bliksem.
it went to 10,000 a day, 10,000 a day, 10,000 a day. And I think that pushed me to probably 100, let's say 100,000.
Yeah.
Followers.
Are you freaking out
Followers.
now? But are you not
There
just
I
every
was
now and again,
freaking
because
out.
I think for my is it nog alles like, oh my gosh, what is this? Like, how do you feel during this happen? Is it like that thing? Like for me, I've got my own little journey with social media. For me, remember, I'm like an ant on social media to be compared to you guys, but it's all relative, I suppose. Like, you know, in relative to Dwayne Johnson, I suppose. You know, whatever.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
But I know for me, like, you know, you get that kind of rush. You're like, oh, put something out there, people like it. It's almost like getting a compliment. It's a
Yes.
similar kind of vibe.
No, you definitely got like a rush, a kick out of it.
Yes. So you
Thought-
obviously now going, oh my gosh, what is this?
I was like, why me? Why is everyone so interested in watching my videos? And if I didn't post, people thought there was something wrong with me. I was sick or I
Yeah.
That's definitely a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm-
jeez.
now still. Like, we don't post every day. We don't get to it. We have busy lives. And then people go ham. I think on my second last video, someone still asked, why aren't you posting? I'm like, I have a life.
Yes,
I don't
exactly.
have time to post every day.
That's amazing. It's almost like
so
they
yeah,
start
that
feeling
was-
like you're the product and you need to deliver for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to get people just DM me all the time. They'd be like, listen, you haven't posted today. You okay? Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Like, are you alive? Like, what's going on? It's been 2 days since you posted. And you're like, oh, cuz, I just got busy. I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to, like, deprive you of content, but it's just, I've been busy and I've had stuff to do. Like, especially with me at the liquor store.
Yeah.
So, I just, there's days where I'm like, I'm swamped. I have no...
So that's actually a cool segue. Sorry, ek sny jou nou af. Okay, en I want to get to that now as well. So, in toe het dit van toe af like gesnowball.
Ek dink, okay, I'm sorry.
No, sorry,
After
I'm
that-
going Afrikaans.
It's fine. After that, everything did kind of well.
Yeah.
And then there was another video that did well. Got probably 900,000.
Yes.
And it was every now and then that something went viral.
Yeah.
And then I think in March 2029.
2029.
2029.
That's
2019.
I like it. Bring the
Wow.
future back.
Going
Yeah.
back to the
Yeah,
future,
no, I like it, yeah.
Oh my word.
2029, you're going to be in a billion. Yeah.
Jeez.
Anyway.
If we only had a billion in 2029, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're compounding now. We're going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll be disappointed if we only had 1 billion in 2029. I'm disappointed.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not happy. We just quit then.
Yes. Sorry. Okay, so you were saying?
In 2019.
Yes.
March, I made a stupid video, and I'm talking stupid. My face wasn't even in the video.
Yeah.
And that was the video that blew out of proportion. So it
What-
was...
Yeah. What is the video?
Yeah, I'm telling you now. So it was...
I don't like the video, just saying.
I don't like the video either.
Okay. Well, it did a lot for you, so
Yeah.
yes.
I don't regret the video, but
Yeah.
now I have to look back at it and I'm like... Ugh.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was me and a bunch of friends, influencer TikTok friends, that went to the mall to make content. So we
Yes.
got together to make content.
Yes.
And then I saw a video on my For You page and I was like, oh, I want to do this, but I need a pen. Does anyone have a pen? And no one had a pen. So I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Then as we walked through the mall, we walked past Typo.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, they have test pens, so I'm going to go write on my hand. And right before that, I put moisturizer on my hand, so the pen didn't want to write. But I already had half of the things that I need for the video on my hands. So I went to wipe my hands, I got the moisturizer off, and then I finished writing everything.
Yes.
So what you had to do is here on your hand, you... Like, okay, here on your hand. No one else is going to see what
Yeah,
I'm
look
saying.
at this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Look at what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pointing at.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
listeners.
Yes. Yes. Story time.
So at the top of your hand,
Yes.
you write press or tap.
Yes.
And then your pointer finger, your index finger, you write twist. So when the person, so you ask someone to do these things.
So they kind of
Yes.
follow the instructions.
Yes,
yeah,
got
so
you.
I'm filming
Yes.
and my hand is in front of the camera.
Yes.
And then I walk up to the opposite person
Yes.
and they just follow the instructions. So it says tap or press and then the pointer index finger pops out and it says twist. So then they twist the finger and then at the bottom of the index finger it said pull. So then they pull and then the rest of my hand...
Then she farts. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Really?
it was a perfect setup for that as well.
Yeah,
that's
actually.
the guy's version.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that one. I remember that one. Okay, sorry. Yeah, cool. But you're taking us on a journey.
Yeah.
Even if you that's good storytelling. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
Elvis.
Yeah. And then when they pull the finger, the rest of my fingers are still covering my palm. So when they pull the finger, my hand pops open and reveals a secret message on my palm.
Yes.
So that message to the person on the opposite side said, "Marry me." And I'm a girl that has nails and everything, so it was very clear a girl. And I asked a guy to marry me.
Yes.
And obviously he knew what I was doing, so I told him, just exaggerate, go crazy, start crying or something.
Yes.
And the
Now you know
viewers...
why I didn't like it.
Now I get it. I was like, oh, the other guy was part of the thing. Okay, got you. Yeah.
And that was obviously a joke. I didn't
Yes.
ask him to marry me. And that video blew up to 3.5 million likes.
Oh my
So
gosh, that is amazing.
Yeah, that did
It's
mentally...
like 30 million views or something like that.
I think 36 million views.
36. I saw in total you've got like more than 90
Million likes.
million likes.
That's all my videos together. But I
90,
have a
more
lot
than
of videos.
90 million. That is insane.
Yeah.
But that video I've seen like ever since. And how long ago was that? That was 2019. you
Yeah,
said.
March about.
I think you started a trend, or but you saw it somewhere.
I saw it somewhere,
well.
but I don't think it was a big
Big
trend
thing.
when I did it.
And
So
then
I saw
yeah.
a couple of people did it, and their videos did well, but mine went kind of to the top of the sound because it was a girl asking a guy to marry him.
Yes.
So
Oh my gosh,
and
that is.
everyone thought it was real. They were like, "Oh, when's the wedding? This is so cool. Break the stigma." I was like, "Yeah, calm down."
But yeah, you were like, calm down, but also you were like, yes, this video
Yeah, I was like,
is
yes, this
making
is
this,
doing amazing.
changing my life.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were okay, and then ever since, Bill, it's
That boosted me to 1 million followers, and
Yeah.
then it just gradually grew to where I am now.
that is incredible. Okay, getting back to you now. Thanks
Cool.
for also. It's cool having both of you here, and I'm glad you guys are in a relationship so that I
Yeah,
don't feel like I'm ignoring the one when I'm speaking to the other one.
So good.
So it's like okay. So Robbie, okay, can we similar question?
Okay.
You've been treating us with beautiful wisdoms, and now like
I hope I can keep up the.
just to, no. just out of interest, just to take it personal, because some of the things sound like very like it's lots about social media, but just to make it relatable for people, very quickly go back. You from Pretoria originally, no? Jy was in Hoërskool Wonderboom.
Yes.
Got you, Robbie, from
I stay in Boksburg now, but I went to school in Benoni. I was at Benoni High.
Benoni High. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. So you grew up. That's an English school, right?
Yeah.
English and Afrikaans. Okay.
Yeah.
So Robbie, where did it start? Oh, excuse. I'm getting to you now, Robbie.
All
just,
good.
just a vinnige ding, Chane. Ek wanted to ask, like, were you to be a TikTok star or someone big on social media? I think one always thinks it's almost like when you're an actor, people think you're going to be an extrovert. It's not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
It's like you enjoy working in a certain way. Was jy soos op skool byvoorbeeld the extroverted friends with everyone kind of person?
I wouldn't say I was friends with everyone.
But were you the bubbly kind of?
I've always been bubbly and
Okay.
chatty with everyone. I've always been the outgoing one.
Yes.
I wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily friends with everyone.
Yes.
Because people didn't always like me for how I get along with everyone. So like the girls didn't like me because I got along with the guys and stuff like that.
Got
So,
you. Got you.
but extrovert I was definitely.
Because I can see both of you are like feel it seems very easy to get along with, which is really cool. Like it's lekker how relatable you are.
Oh, that's an awesome compliment. Thank you.
Yes, and I think often like when you see some people as very successful, remember we all see things from the outside
Yeah,
in other
relative.
people's lives, you know. So you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, these people are all feel intimidated, you know, blah blah. And then you meet them like, oh, it's so comforting to know that like,
Like,
you know,
hey, that person's human.
exactly like, oh my gosh,
Exactly.
even Ronaldo as a person, you know.
No, he's a king.
Yeah,
we don't play with
yeah.
Ronaldo. Ronaldo's cool.
Yeah, no, he's right. I love it. So,
Yeah.
okay, Bru, same question. Where did it start for you? Were you like, you seem like you get along with everyone, like outgoing. Were you like a sporty guy at school? And then how did it start?
So, like, not the whole of my school career, I was kind of into sports. Kind of towards the end of grade 7,
Yes.
I jumped into athletics.
Yes.
And then literally the whole of high school was sports. So I was literally friends with everyone and their cats. I had mates everywhere. I was friends with, like, the the jocks, if you want to call them
Yeah.
that, or the nerds, if you want to call them
Yeah.
that, like whatever
Yeah.
whatever group you want to call.
Yeah.
There was even times we used to hang out at the jock bench because
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm not interested in hanging with you guys today. I'll go hang out with the
Ska-
nerds or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Hey guys, what are you guys doing today? Oh, we're discussing Star Trek. I was like, I don't know what you guys are doing.
Yeah. Landing, sweet.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's just like chill and I don't know, kick
Got
a ball
you.
or something.
Yeah, I got you.
Then there'd be times where I'd go and hang out with my friends that were actually playing soccer.
Mm.
So you work up a sweat some days, and then so I used to hang out with literally everyone in their
Yes.
and their cats. So yeah, I had like a bunch of friends, or whatever, but I don't know if I'd say I was always an extrovert though.
Mm.
So like I had the people I used to be friends with everyone. If you used to talk to me, I used to talk to you. I used to. It just wasn't a thing of me saying no, like you're too cool to talk to you or that kind of thing. But yeah, I guess I've always been an extrovert in some sense.
Yes.
I'm a lot more outgoing than Chane. There's times where Chane's like, I don't want to talk to this person, you do it.
Yes.
And you're
I'm
like,
actually,
okay.
for extrovert, I'm pretty shy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chane's, yeah.
Okay.
So
got you.
Chane will want to do something and she'll be like, oh, that'll be fun. And I'm like, okay, ask them. And you're like, no, you do it.
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
okay.
There's a difference between putting yourself out there, but in the comfort of
Yeah.
something you know,
Yeah.
versus like social almost anxiety is a real
I
thing.
think that is something I definitely
She has it when I'm in the room. There's some TikTok
do.
video. She's like, listen, Robbie, you need to leave. Get out the room, go
play
sit
games with
somewhere
my
else.
brother or
Yeah, it's
something.
so awkward.
And then she sits in the room alone. And I'm like,
Yes.
but I know how this. Okay, I'll
Yes,
leave.
yes.
Just you do you.
You do
and
you.
she just, like, she can't. She can't do it
Got
in the
you.
room. Some
No.
of the stuff.
I
Yeah, we've
understand
literally
that.
been together for like almost a year and a half, and I
Yeah.
still get like, no, look away.
Stage
Yes,
fright. Yeah,
yes,
it's crazy.
yes.
Like some of the stuff I have to help her film, I have to literally put it on a tripod with the timer and then like set it up and I'm like, okay, wait, shift this way. Okay, you in. Okay, start timer. And then I have to walk away so that she can do her thing.
Just turn
Yes.
around and be there. Don't look at me.
But that's cool. To me, it makes you guys relatable. For me, it's always like you follow someone, and then you realize they've also that person's actually shy. Oh shit, I'm actually afraid of that. We're all just humans, which is cool.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like humanizing.
Yeah,
Almost.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then when did you we also on Musically, or how did you? Yeah, just
So-
like when did that start?
So I was on Musically, I think, for like maybe 2 months
Yeah.
before it switched over to TikTok. I was kind of like literally just scrolling through my Instagram and I used to see like a bunch of these like, honestly, like the big stars of Musically, like back in the day, like the
Lauren
Lauren Gray
Gray,
and Kristen
Kristen
Hancher, kind of people just hanging on the For You page. And I was like, damn, these videos look really cool. I'd like to try some of these videos because they look awesome.
Yeah.
And I downloaded the app, I checked it out for a while, and I was like, yeah, not interested. And I carried on with my life for probably about another month and a half.
Yeah.
And then I said, I want to try one of these videos. It can't be that difficult. I went to YouTube, how do you make these transition videos kind of thing. And I learned kind of what to do. And then my first video came out like terrible, so I left it. And then I tried it again with some other sound. And then instead of posting it on Musically, I went to post it on my Instagram.
Yes.
So I have Musically videos on my Instagram
Yes.
before I even posted on my Musically account.
Yeah.
And yeah, then eventually I was like, you know what, my Instagram people aren't following me for these videos, but because if they want to see the type of content, they'll see it on Musically. So
Yeah.
let my Instagram be as kind of like side thing anyways. So I used to do like Instagram I think I had like 400 followers before I started on TikTok. So I was like, I'll just kind of cater to the people that are already on Musically and just give them content there. If they want to watch it, they watch it.
Yes.
And yeah, then I started posting and literally within a month I had like 10,000 followers from my first video to
Must be
a month
nice.
later.
Is that's not the norm, right? That
No,
was,
that was
that's not
crazy.
normal.
It was
Okay.
like crazy blowing up.
And what would your typical kind of content then? What would it be?
Literally just me lip syncing to random songs that I liked. So
Yeah.
if I saw a song that I liked, I was like, I can sing to this.
Yes.
And I'd lip sync to it and people were just like, this looks so cool. And I was
Yes.
like, okay.
They
more.
were just interested in that thing.
Yes, the dimples.
They liked the dimple, yeah.
They like the dimple, yeah.
And literally all my comments were about. So I'd get like 2,000 likes on a video and literally 200 comments. And all 200 comments were like, your dimple, your smile, your dimple.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then it was like, okay, like cool. You guys like my smile. Like, I'm happy.
I'm gonna use this. Yeah.
And then it's literally like, after 10K, then it was like, they were like, oh, when are you going to go live? And I was like, nah, I'm not a live streamer. Like, you know, just don't worry about that. And then I said, okay, you know what? Get me to 20K and then I'll go live. Literally, probably not even a month later again, 20K.
What do you think they tell their friends, or like,
know.
how does it work? Who knows?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Just kind of went. I literally don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
And then I hit 20K and I was like, okay, well, let's go live, I guess. I went live, I spoke to them for a bit and they were like, oh, that's such an awesome live. I used to get DMs on my Instagram saying, yo, you guys, that was such an awesome live. Please do it again. Do it more often when you're going live again.
And what are you doing in the live? You're just chatting?
I was literally staring at the screen, answering questions that came up.
Okay.
So I wasn't doing much. I wasn't like, entertaining by in any sense.
But you're just interacting with the people.
Yeah, and I think that kind of humanized me in a sense where they were like, oh, I want to know, what's your favorite color? What did you do today? Where did you get your this? Where did this happen? So kind of like,
they get a sense for your personality then, like they can connect with a person.
So then you kind of like sit there and you're like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know when I'm going to go live again, like, you know, because at the same time I still had my job. I was still working in a liquor store.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I don't know when I'm going to go live again. I don't know when I'm posting again. I don't know. I can't give answers, guys. And they just wanted to know and they were curious and like, then fan pages started popping up and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Then I think it was probably 4 months later.
Yeah.
I jumped up to like 300,000 probably. So I'd been on TikTok for probably about 6 months at the time and it hit like 300K. And then, no, it was
He
less
was still past me at a stage.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He had more followers than me.
Okay.
I think I was just over 100,000 followers. And then my at this point, it's the second most viral video.
Yeah.
But probably the one that blew up on multiple platforms that it really did things for me. It was literally a triple screen of my mouth only. So my whole face wasn't even in it.
Yeah.
It was literally just my mouth singing off to that
That's what they
Gouveia
liked.
cream.
The mouth and the
You
dimple.
got great mouth, great teeth, great dimple.
Thanks.
Moneymaker.
It's a combination.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was literally just a triple screen of my mouth, mouthing off to the song by Gouveia Cream.
Yes.
Like if you YouTube Gouveia Cream TikTok, my mouth will come up. You literally just see my mouth and like a part of my neck kind of thing. And yeah, that blew me up. That hit like something like 5 million views or 3 million views or something like that.
Around there.
And 300,000 something likes. And that just blew me up. It's from like 110,000 maybe to like 350K. It just blew me up. And I was like,
and then you got verified.
Yeah, and then I got verified.
Do you apply to get verified or
No.
do they contact you?
They
They just verify you.
Yeah,
They don't even contact you. I think there is some things like requirements, like
there's like a criteria you have to
Yes.
meet before
you
it
have to be
happens.
on the app for a certain
Yes.
amount of time, a certain amount of followers, and a certain amount of likes, I think.
And then they just like, then you get that crown.
Well, yeah, Musical Time was
Back then
crown.
it
Now
was
it's
a
just like a
crown.
blue tick. Which
Crown was
TikTok,
so
it's
much
boring.
cooler.
Give us our crowns back.
Yeah, that's where King Berto comes from, right?
Yes,
The
yeah,
crown.
exactly.
From Musically, yeah. I did
Some
a bit
people
of
think I'm so arrogant for having that.
No.
And I'm like, no, guys, it's just because I wanted to be a king. I wanted a crown. That's
Yes,
all. That's all I wanted.
So okay. So I've got so many interesting questions. I'm not even looking at my questions here because how does it feel? How does it feel? Like, is it flattering? Is it amazing? Is it a rush? How does it feel when you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, this thing I posted, I don't know, the teeth and the mouth, that thing I did, what's going on here? How does that feeling, what do you experience?
Can I tell you how long that video took me to make?
Yeah.
I think it's a 12-second long video.
Yeah.
It must have taken me all of 15 seconds to make that video.
That's mad, bro.
From filming to posting, 15 seconds.
So-
I literally just
Same
went.
with my video.
So, but does it come from, is it like, okay, does it, what, we'll get to the inspiration now where you hear something and you go, whatever. Okay, 15 seconds and you put it on.
Put it up, and then it was literally the next day I woke up and it was just blowing up. It just went out of nowhere. And I didn't understand it because when I just uploaded it, it was probably sitting like after an hour, maybe like
It was
1,000
doing
views
crappy,
at the time.
right?
Yeah.
It was not crappy to us back then. It was like doing
It was like
average.
doing
Yes.
like an average
Yes.
video. It might have gotten like a little bit above average.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, it'll stay up.
Yes.
And then you wake up the next day and your phone's just blowing up, notifications for days.
Yeah, after
There's
that,
this-
I put off my notifications.
Yeah.
I don't want TikTok notifications
I did the
anymore.
same
It's
thing.
just too much.
But
did
is
the
it
same thing.
exciting?
It is. It's
It
crazy.
was.
Like you kind of look
It
at it and you're
is.
like, wow, these people really enjoy what I put out. And then I don't know about you, but for me, I kind of had like pressure added to me. I was like, I need to kind of replicate this kind of content so that.
But also, you need to
That
put out
also-
good content. You need to keep entertaining people. It felt like a full-time job.
So that's the
Yes.
pressure I felt. I was
Yeah.
like, I need to make sure that when I put out more content, that's going to be something that's kind of
They
the same
enjoy.
caliber
Because
because
otherwise you're going to feel like it's not on par. You're going to be judged because it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wait, come on, Roo.
exactly. But the video blew up for me though. It, like I think on Facebook it had something like 60 million views because they turned it
That's
into like a meme and
60
yeah,
million.
it was huge.
That's the entire South African population. Bro. Okay. And that is like, how long ago was this?
This was 2018.
No.
Okay.
19.
2019. End of 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
When?
It was the beginning of 2019. I met you in February 2019.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I only saw you had like about 100 and something thousand at the meet and greet.
Yeah,
Okay.
and right after that, you had your 300.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's probably...
Okay.
Mid.
Shane's better with dates than I am.
You
so-
got the
I am.
dates. You guys.
Yeah, it was about close to mid 2019.
Yeah.
Okay, and now, so the maybe we should just dip in there. What do you think? You can answer it individually, right? And maybe it's like the inspiration. Maybe it's being in tune with what's trending at the moment. Maybe it's just like you guys. Okay, to like it's question. Answer the part of the question you want to answer. Like,
Okay.
what do you think sets your content apart? What would like that? I've looked at it and I'm like, this is awesome, but I don't spend enough time on TikTok to compare it to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I can see there's a appeal here. Knowing what else sort of is out there, do you think it's something that you do different, being sort of in tune? And I know it sounds like an arrogant thing to answer yourself, but I mean, like, I think it ties in with what inspires you to put something out there. How do you know when this is cool content or this is something, this is a cool, catchy song, I'm going to combine it with this? When do you get a feeling of, this is just everyday life, I'm driving to this podcast I need to go to, versus, oh my gosh, wait a second, we're driving to this podcast, but this just happened, I need to film this. I need to like put this on TikTok with this. Or is it a one thing that happens and then you put a song to it? Can you just like, you can speak together?
That was a lot of
Information and a lot of
information in
questions.
one yeah, okay. I'm going to answer the part that you say what makes us, I think,
Sets us apart in a way.
kind of makes us different from other people.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people online pretend to be someone that they're not. And I feel like we're very authentic. We don't like being someone else. We just, what you see is what you get. We're very real with people and we try and be as relatable as we possibly can. So I don't want to be this pretentious little puppy that everyone
Puppy.
thinks, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like
people,
a poopy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually happened before where I thought I was relatable enough and then I did an interview once and after the interview the lady told me, you're actually very nice. And I was like, but I thought I
What is that? Why are you using the word actually?
It's the worst because you get people like,
It's like such
you're
a
actually a nice person. You're like,
What did you think
mean?
I
Why
am?
did you think I was? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
That's why I said like a lot of people even thought that I was like arrogant because I used the word king in my
yeah.
username. And I'm
Yeah.
like, guys, like I don't think I'm a king like in real life. It's
No,
not what I meant.
exactly.
And people
Yeah.
like they kind of just assume that you're this arrogant person, and even if they don't know your username, whatever, if I'll hear like via the grapevine, like that person's got X amount of followers on TikTok, they kind of just assume you walk around with this big chest and
Yeah, they
like,
think
no,
you
guys.
think you're very entitled and you put yourself on this pedestal. But honestly, I could give like less. Like I don't care what other people think of me. Like what you see is what you get, and I'm literally probably the plainest Jane you can get.
But that I find that cool because for me, sitting opposite you guys now, like looking you guys in the eye, speaking to you, I
Yeah.
can see you guys are like real, warm, easygoing people. And so I can even argue the contrary, that you guys have become so popular. So I understand the thing that people sometimes think people are who are super successful or well known. Maybe some of those have an ego, okay, or they think they're better because
Some
they've
of
got lots
them
of
do.
money or whatever. Because some people do, as
Yeah.
people all over do, whether they've got lots of money or not. People
Yeah,
are
so-
different.
No, we've
I
met a
think we
few.
are- yeah, definitely.
We've met a few that they normal, like they're friendly and cute and
Yes.
down to earth until they get these followers and then they completely
change.
Once the camera's off, they just change. But I think they'll meet people like that in public, and
Yes.
then we get painted with the same brush because we do the
Yeah.
same field.
100%.
kind of thing, yeah.
100%. But I think, that's cool for me, that if authenticity is part of your brand, then it's almost like the fact that you are so authentic or human actually is the appeal. So from the start, they
Maybe.
were like connecting with a real person. Wow, this person is out there, putting themselves out there on the internet and like being like almost like openly vulnerable in a way. Like they're putting
Yeah.
themselves out there, and that is the connecting part. So you don't have to fake to be someone else when you meet someone. They're like, oh, I really connected with that thing, instead of being like, oh, you're perfect.
Yeah, definitely. And I think people tend to gravitate towards people that show like a vulnerable side, if you want to say
100%.
that. So, like, if I, okay, let's use Chane for example, because it's an easy analogy. Chane will have bad skin today. She'll post about it and she'll say, listen, guys, I'm having like my skin looks
Yes,
terrible
that's
today.
a great example, actually.
And people relate and be like, wow, so Chane isn't like this
Do you
person
actually
in
get
goal.
pimples? What?
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
we're
I'm
the
a
same.
person. I'm a human. We all the same.
And then it's
not me, I haven't
it
given
makes
this.
sorry, yeah. And it makes them feel more
Yeah.
exactly. It's like, oh, okay, this
So
yeah.
it kind of
Yeah.
humanizes her. And then they say, okay, well, you know what? If she can get pimples and she's willing to show it,
Yeah.
like, at least I know that I'm not alone in this. And then they'll like want to talk to you and say, listen, okay, well, how have you got your skin so clear since
Yeah.
day one?
and
great-
yes.
A great example is when I made myself very vulnerable. As let's say a year ago,
Yes.
I started a weight loss journey. Let's call it that. And that was something I just wanted to do for myself because I wanted to be confident. It's something that I've struggled with always, with confidence and blah, blah, blah. And I did that for myself. And then one day I put out this video that said, here's a screenshot of the amount of drafts that I have. Comment the number of the draft that you want to see. So 1 to 600.
Oh, that's cool.
Which one do you want? And the one with the comment with the most likes, that number
You're gonna
draft,
take that
I'm going to
draft.
go look for, and I'm going to
Post.
post that one. And unfortunately for me, I had a video in my TikTok drafts that I filmed for myself to look
Yes.
back on one day
Yes.
when I reach my confidence goals, my
Yes.
weight loss goals, blah, blah,
Yes.
blah, where I was trying on shorts, summer shorts, because since primary school,
Yes.
I was a little girl that would not wear shorts.
Okay.
I was insecure and your typical little girl.
Yes.
And then I was like, no, I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to do this for myself. So I'm going to fit these shorts on, and then I'm going to make a
looks great in shorts,
comparison
by the
video. Shut up.
Yes.
And I made that video just for myself, and I filmed little bits of me trying on my shorts. And then I thought, okay, one day when I'm happy with myself, I'm going to make a comparison video and see how much I've progressed.
Yes.
And unfortunately for me, that was the number that they got. And I was like, no,
Not this one.
not this
Not
one.
this
And I was
one.
like,
She
but I'm
could have easily just switched it.
I
but she
could have
didn't.
switched it, but I was like, no, I'm always true to the followers, and I'm always give them what they want.
I feel
and
like the fact that you stuck to the integrity of it is what makes
Yeah.
you guys so awesome. But yes, keep
But
on
I
going.
showed them, and I showed them a screen recording.
Yes.
I said, this is the one.
Yes.
I counted.
What number did they say, by the way? Can you
I think
remember?
it
Is
was
it like
290
Oh, just a random thing.
something.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Super, like, but it's difficult to get to there, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to go all the way down to the bottom and
Yes.
start.
And it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
And it was
yes.
so difficult. And I was so like insecure, and I was like, no,
Yes.
I want to
Yes.
cry. I don't want to post
Yes.
this. And I thought, okay, now I'm going to be true to myself and talk
Yes.
to them and tell them, okay, I'm not happy posting this,
Yeah.
but I want you guys to feel this close to me. I did a whole voiceover, and I said, I filmed this this much time ago. I don't even know when this was. And when I filmed that video, and when I post the video, I already, I think, lost 6
Yes.
kgs. So I already looked different. So I told
Yes.
them, this is how much I've lost. This is what I've done. I already have this much of a difference. But here you can see, you can relate with me, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And that whole comment section was full of girls just being like, wow, they have so much respect for how real I can be with them, and how I could have just chosen anything and said, yeah, no, this is number 294, but I chose the actual 294. And till this day, they still want to know, listen, what did you do? Like, I remember that video that you posted and you inspired me, blah, blah, blah,
That's so
blah.
cool. So the thing
So-
just to add to what you're saying, often we feel like we need to do something cool to be appreciated.
Yeah.
But it's almost like sharing the part that you think's uncool to make people feel more empowered.
The parts that, if you make yourself, I feel like if you're vulnerable and you
Yes.
put yourself out there and you kind of get out of your comfort zone,
Yes.
it's when things happen. And I feel like that kind of made people relate more with me, because I'm a pretty much a perfectionist. I don't like putting out things that's not on the dot perfect like I wanted
Yes.
it to be.
Yes.
So I think that's when that lady told me, you're actually so nice. Thought I'm like this pretentious girl
Yes.
that makes everything perfect.
Yes.
And then when I showed them, listen, I have insecurities, I have faults, I have things that I'm not
Yes.
happy with, they were like, oh, you're human. So I think that made me a little bit more relatable.
I think it's so cool that you guys are known for being authentic. It's so cool not to have to put an act on.
Yeah, it's a
It's
little
our
bit easier
favourite thing.
than being someone who has to like, oh, you constantly have to be this, if you're pretending to be like a baller, like you got so much money, and you know someone catches you in a pep store, you have to like literally
Yeah, exactly.
beg this person not to tell people that you're hanging out in a pep store.
100%.
Not there's anything wrong with pep. I mean,
No,
just
but
saying,
I
like,
get what you're
example.
saying.
But
You're not
there's
shopping
stigma
Gucci.
around it.
You're not shopping Gucci. So
That's happened a lot. Like, have you guys seen the cute stuff that Pep Home has?
It's,
I shop at
it's
Pep
awesome.
Home.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Those stuff, yeah.
no, I wasn't trying to like throw shade at
No.
pep. I was
No,
just
but I'm
saying like it's not
Yes.
Gucci at the end of the day.
We can shop at better places, but like, you don't need to.
Exactly. And I think when you own it, then people are like, oh, respect. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
have to feel so weird about my
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And that's
Yeah.
always my comeback to someone like, what are you doing in I saw you in a Pep. And I was like, how did you see me in Pep? Were you in there? So what were you doing in there?
Exactly.
If that's such a big
Yeah, I love
shame,
Pep.
you were in there.
Yes, exactly.
We're
We're,
there
we're
together.
human. We were there together.
together.
So
100%. 100%. So, okay, you were speaking about like the smile and the teeth. You both both have great smiles and great teeth.
yeah,
Thank you.
I wonder, like, looks, is that and I'm not, look, there's lots of people that look a million different ways.
Yeah.
I wonder do you guys also follow international TikTok stars and there's like
Yeah.
people you aspire to? And how much is it more, is looks, is it more the quality of the intention and the vibe of the video, or is it also like, because I know there's like a whole trend for dance videos, and I'm assuming when it's like a model dancing, some people are it's more likely to get views because people, I suppose there's a reason why they put good, traditionally seen as good-looking people on front covers or whatever, because that's aspirational for people.
Yeah, so I think definitely, look, it's kind of, I guess you want to say arrogant to say, I think looks do play a part, but I don't think it necessarily has to be, you don't have to be your typical standard of beauty. So you don't have to be the
You don't
blonde
have
hair,
to be
blue
a
eyes.
supermodel to
kind
get
of thing, yeah.
followers.
Yes.
So I don't think you have to be that standard, but I think you have to kind of put your best foot forward. So
Yeah.
if you're going to be putting out a video, you want to be putting out, you don't want to be wearing a jacket that's got like holes and it's got your gravy stain from last night
100%.
kind of thing.
Except if that's your vibe. But
Unless that's part of the video kind of
Yes,
thing, or if that genuinely is your vibe, I mean, then
Yeah.
But
go for it.
I hear what you're saying. Whatever's your beauty, and it doesn't have to
Yes.
be skin deep. It can be like keep on going.
So, like, there are certain, say, American TikTok stars that I do follow for their quality of the content. They've got
Yeah.
such insane content, and you're like, wow, this person just brings that insane content. And then, look, before I met Chane, there was a few girls there that you follow because, hey, this girl's cute.
Yeah.
And, you'll be lying if you say you didn't follow a few people because of, hey, like, damn, I wouldn't mind seeing more of you on my
Yeah.
TikTok kind of thing. So yeah, I think there's a certain level of it, but at the end of the day, it's not something that's only a skin deep thing.
I agree.
I mean, there's one girl on TikTok. She's like she's not your traditional beauty standard.
Yes.
She's an overweight married woman with like thin hair,
Yeah.
and she makes the funniest jokes. I followed her.
And
I
it's-
think she makes the funniest jokes. They're all dry humor. It's that. I don't even know her name.
Spooky.
Cecilia Spooky something.
Yes.
Yeah, I
and
love
that
her
is, and
videos.
because
She's
she
so
owns
funny.
her vibe, that is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, and she makes these dad jokes, literally
Yes.
dad jokes.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
the way she says it makes you laugh. The husband's reactions to it
Yes.
makes her laugh.
Yes.
So
She
you
also
enjoy that
sleepwalks.
content.
She
So
films
she's-
herself sleepwalking.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. How do you film yourself
They
sleepwalking?
got, like, cameras
cameras
Oh,
in the
really?
house, and then she
So
takes
funny.
the footage and posts it on
That is
TikTok.
Definitely check her out there. She's so
Hilarious.
funny. She's super funny.
Yes.
Jason Banks comedy. He's also he's tradition. He's got a bald head. He's got his beard going
Yes.
on, and he just like basically talks to himself, different versions of himself.
Yeah.
And he makes up comedy skits, and he's super funny. So it's not your traditional
Yes.
wavy hair boy from the
100%.
beach,
So
with
it's-
his abs and kind of thing.
It's like whatever gifts you have, whether it's, it's humor or whatever it can be,
Yeah.
vulnerability, whatever it is, like owning that and going for that.
Yeah, so put your best foot forward. That's
Yes.
pretty much, I think, would be the easiest way to explain it.
What is okay? Now I'm gonna zoom out quickly a bit and go into, because you guys are gonna know what I'm asking. Like, okay, firstly, to you, what makes good content? And I'm sure it can be something different. I mean, it can be different things, but is there like in maths, I remember they spoke about like a common denominator,
Yeah.
like something that goes through, even if it's this thing's very funny and this thing's very that. Is it authenticity? What to you? Like Chane? What to you is great content?
That's so difficult because literally it's so different for every piece of content because every piece of content is different. So if it's comedy, it's comedy. If it's dancing, it's dancing. Like I said, staying true to yourself. That's the one main thing to me is authenticity. Relatable content. So I think if people can relate to your content, that's already a home run. I myself, I put out content for anyone and everyone. So you'll find probably anything and everything, all the genres on my page. I don't just stick to dancing or makeup. I do everything. I think good content, the key to a good video is probably lighting. You want good lighting. People want to see what's going on in the video.
Yes.
No, the worst thing to watch is some like grainy footage.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like you're watching CCTV.
Like you don't need artificial ring lights and spotlights.
Sunlight.
Just go
Sunlight
out,
sometimes even better than your ring
to a
light,
window.
It's crazy.
Natural lighting is the best you can find, and that's what I did for the most of I had over 1 million followers and I still didn't have a ring light.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah? So I got a ring light way later. I always used my window was my lighting. I wouldn't make videos at nights because natural lighting was what I used. Now ring light's very easy. You can make a video whenever. But yeah, I think lighting is probably the best thing. And it's so difficult. There's so many things that makes a good video. What would you say?
For me, I think it's a difficult question to answer. To kind of build on what Chane is saying, I think more than just good comedy is good comedy, and a joke is a joke. I mean, some people find it more funny than others.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of builds into that as well. We say content is subjective. So what's good content to me is not going to be the same good content
100%.
as going to be for Chane.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, if you show me a TikTok video about guns, I'm going to be like, hey, this is something cool. If you show Chane a TikTok video of makeup, shouldn't say this is cool, but you reverse it. I'm not going to say it's great content. I'm like, it's makeup. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I think good content is subjective.
Yes.
I think if you're going to try and make good content, make content you'd want to watch. So
that's a good
it must
point.
be good content for you.
Yeah, that's true.
So rather put out your own content because it is subjective at the end of the day. I mean, some people will gravitate towards you if you make the kind of content they're looking for.
Yeah.
100%.
So, and I think that's where Chane's been blessed as well, very much so. She's kind of made content that kind of hits all the genres.
Yes.
So she caters for everyone.
Yes.
Whereas I don't do much dancing. So
Yeah.
I kind of I do it now and then if I dance with her or.
Yes.
But that's
You dance pretty well, bro. I saw there was one where you're like imitating almost each other's moves. Or I'm not sure if you imitate each other's moves exactly, but anyways, you both were like looking as though you know what you're doing.
Aiko, Ami.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was one of my favorite videos.
Yeah, we did good in that though.
Yeah.
I
enjoyed that.
do feel there's like for me personally, right? I was like the worst. I could never do art, like visual art, and I could never dress myself. Like I still like colors. I don't. So lighting is for you to lots of people. It sounds like such a simple thing, but you know what something good looks like. I'm like very in tune with audio. I listen to so many podcasts and I love music and I love videos, but for some reason, I almost can't see. It's a very weird thing to describe, like art as well. I'd love to be able to appreciate it, but like I don't even know what good lighting looks like, and I work in the movie industry.
Yeah.
Do you know? Speaking of which, is TikTok, I'd love to hear your guys' view on social media. For me personally, and it's so weird, just like to bring myself into this for a second, I was like literally a week ago, I was like speaking to my fiance and speaking to one of my friends. I'm like, yes, bro, I feel like I try and stay on social media because it's semi-part of my job, but it's also... I feel almost like I need to put something out there to feel relevant, right? That's almost like the world we've been, it's been, and I think on your guys' level, it's just much more, there's much more pressure and it's much bigger and there's a bigger scale.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm not like a natural video. It doesn't come from my heart to necessarily make videos, but sometimes it does. And it's much, much smaller following. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? So, social media, there's so much out there, right?
Yeah.
Is social media like TikTok stars? Is that the new do you think that is replacing what film stars used to be or sports stars used to be or whatever, like that? Because you could feel like YouTube stars, like let's say 10 years ago, Logan Paul wouldn't be so famous, for instance, or maybe he would for a different reason. But like, where do you guys think we're going? And for you, what's it like? Do you feel, is it like a, shit, I need to compete? Because for me, I compare myself to other people, and you guys probably compare yourself to people who are much bigger following than the people I compare myself to.
Definitely.
Do you know? And I'm sure people who have less followers than I have compare themselves to their friends. So it's like this weird, like, it's awesome, but at the same time, I'm like, shit, I don't know if I can. Maybe I started too late. Maybe I'm too competitive as a person. Maybe I shouldn't compare myself. Maybe there's all these kind of like emotional things that get attached to it.
Definitely.
So how's your experience of that?
So, I'm super competitive. You can ask Chane. Like if we go out to like a fun company or something, and we play like air hockey, I don't let her win.
Is it
when the game starts, we're not dating.
Yeah,
we're just playing games.
Yeah.
But I'm also not seeing anyone else. So Chane's give me a stinker.
Not dating.
Okay, so I'm super competitive. I've always been competitive, and it's just that's like a thing on me. So I've had to try and like literally tell myself, listen, it's okay for other people to have their successes now. Like mine's either still coming or I've grown a lot more than I should have, kind of thing. So I had to kind of get myself into that mental state and think, okay, look, it's okay for other people to thrive now. And it's not that I would hate on other people for thriving. I congratulate Chane all the time. Literally, she hits a milestone. I'm like, jeez, congratulations. This is insane. So I don't want to stop anyone. I just feel like there are times where I'm like, I wish I was growing with them. So I want to be growing at the same pace as them because 100%. I feel like I'm being left behind.
100%.
So I do get those times where it kind of gets to me and you're kind of like, no, but I need to do this. I need to be growing. And then I'm like, hey, but it's okay for other people to have their successes. So I do think having a comparison is a good thing. Keeps you kind of on your toes.
Yeah.
You don't kind of like stay stagnant and like,
I hear you.
Is what it is. But yeah, I definitely compare myself to people, especially in America, because I feel like they're the hallmark of TikTok. Let's start with TikTok, or social media in general. Actually, I feel like Americans have
influencers. Yeah,
they're the hallmark. You just can't beat America when it comes to influencers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have the people that I kind of look up to in a sense, where you kind of like base your stuff off of them. You say, okay, look, this guy's also 27 years old. He's doing similar things to me. Like for the longest time, I was like, I need to catch up to David Dobrik. The kid's like, I think 2 years or 3 years younger than me. Like he's living a life. He's got like 50 million YouTube subscribers, and he's buying people cars for like no reason. So
because of money he made off social media, off his YouTube.
So look, you kind of like, hey, I aspire to be where you are.
Yes.
And I kind of started doing that as opposed to saying, oh, my mates here that I normally hang out with is doing better than me. It's unfair. Kind of thing.
Yes.
So I think it's just a mentality thing that I've had to try and
I am, and maybe the listener feels the same. I'm comforted to know that I'm not the only person that feels like that comparative feeling. Because I suppose, if I think of sport, like we were speaking about football earlier, and, you know, I heard someone speaking like when Kobe Bryant was still alive, like they would see what he does, how hard he trains, and that would inspire them. And I suppose it's similar. It's like you see what other people do and it inspires you. Exactly. Sometimes you're like, oh shit, I wish that was me, but I can work on my stuff. Other times you're like, oh, that's so cool what that person did. I can really enjoy that. So it's like the whole spectrum of human emotion with everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think a lot of times the people don't understand that, look, we get competitive too. Chane for the longest time was
with each other. Oh, you mean in your sphere?
Just in general,
yes, in general, yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, Chane was the number one female most followed in South Africa. For the longest time.
On TikTok?
Yeah.
Chane, that's insane.
For the longest time. And it was a case of, you know, Chane wants to just maintain that.
Yeah.
And it was just...
And eventually I was...
Who fooled that?
It was an insane feeling. It's still an insane feeling that I was actually there. To still carry that idea of I was a top female was insane. It was
the top female TikTok in South Africa.
Yeah, I was, and now I have been passed. I don't know, about two.
I think it's two. Yeah, two other girls passed.
Two girls passed me, so I'm the third one now, and I'm still so happy with it. Like in the beginning,
huge accomplishment. But then I would take that and then say, no, if she's number one, then I need to be the number one male. Like, I don't care if I'm behind her, but I want to be number one male.
Yeah.
But both of you are like, you in the top 10 female, well, you're in the top 3, and you also in the top, definitely.
Definitely in the top in the country, but it's, sometimes it's just not enough. Like, number 7's it's a harsh number. You're like, I want to be there.
Yes.
Number 3 and 4.
That is, okay. Chane, dit is so, does it feel like, that film when people always say like, oh, your parents would always say like, oh, when we were younger, we didn't have TV or whatever. Like for me, I'm slightly older than you are. Like I'm turning 33 on Sunday. So it's not like a generation. Thanks, thanks guys. So it's not like massive difference, but I feel like when I went to varsity, Facebook was a big thing, and I know like for kids at school nowadays, Facebook's like for their parents.
Yeah, you don't read on Facebook because you don't want your mom to see it, because that's where your mom's hanging out.
Yeah.
So how do you guys see where in the hierarchy, or where it's like terms of cool or age, whatever, social media, if you can say like Facebook's there, Instagram's there, TikTok's there, where do they sit?
I think TikTok's probably at the top for...
Yeah. I think it's also, you need to think about what you're doing. If you're talking about just in terms of kids using it,
yes,
then I'd say TikTok's number one. Then I'd probably say YouTube. I'd say YouTube.
Say Instagram.
Okay, Instagram.
How many kids on your comment section have said, I can't go there, I don't have Instagram? There's been.
But then what age is that?
Okay, well, who's the viewer?
Yeah, what I'm saying, the
talking about
kids that are
kids.
saying that are the ones that's like 8. The ones that it's allowed to
8.
have Instagram,
So
there's young ones watching that.
So to add on to this is the question I think I'm getting to. When I was at school, let's say I was grade 9, right? I was trying to be fucking cool, whatever, but there wasn't social media, so it was just like me being awkward and trying to, find out who I am. How big do you think, being at school or university, how big is it almost like your digital life is as big as your non-digital life?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can go to school and be quiet, and then you can have do you know what I mean? Like, is your life, how big is life for you, your Roberto, as in just here, and how big's the life on the internet? Percentage-wise.
I think because, because we're so authentic with our followers, it's kind of a seamless thing where
That's true. It just fits into your life.
Yeah,
it's not something else. That's
it's
true.
not something we have to kind of like put on.
Yeah.
Like I wear a cap as like a staple. If I'm caught outside in the mall without a cap on, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I need to put something on my head.
Yes, that's
it's
true.
not something I'm phased about. I wear it as a trademark kind of thing.
Oh, that's cool. I understand.
But I think it's. I just feel like there shouldn't be that percentage of I'm 75% of the time I'm King Berto and the other 25% I'm Robbie. It should be my family's hanging out with King Berto because they raised Robbie kind of thing.
But that's cool. I love that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's.
That feels like it gives me hope for humanity.
Well, I don't know. But I think that's why Chane and I even gravitated towards each other, is because of that kind of thinking.
Yes.
When I met her the first time, I kind of had my eye on her, like, as in, what are you about? Are we gonna play this game of influencer, camera off, and then we treat people like nonsense?
Yes.
Or, like, how do we do this?
Yes.
But I mean, there's often times we walk in the mall and like we notice these kids that like recognize us and like, come have a photo. Like, don't be shy, come through.
But that's cool.
So yeah, I think a lot of time people don't see that, and then they're just like, he thinks he's cool. Guys.
Yeah, no, that's true. I agree with what you said. They're like people, they paint you with the same brush with experiences they've had here. But then I think it gives you so much more longevity when they realize, these people are so cool, and they tell their friends and whatever. Chane, you ek het opgelees, was jy genominate vir 'n Nickelodeon prize, like in the States?
Kids Choice Award.
Kids Choice Award, Nickelodeon, like United States. That's global. That's massive.
That was insane.
How did that happen? What is that even? And when did that happen? How did that happen? That was in early 2020, I think.
Yeah, that was I think I got. When did I get the email? I think January.
Yeah.
If I have to be honest, I think the 16th of January I got the.
You're very good with precise with dates.
No, but it's
it is important. It's a milestone. It's massive.
Insane thing for me. I thought I was being pranked. I thought I was being scammed, and I got the email and I was like, it's not giving me that little red thingy at the email saying it's a scam. So now I'm not sure. So I went to email and I saw that the Nickelodeon South Africa account DM'd me, and I was like, no, wait, this is, you guys are messing with me. You guys not for real. I don't trust you guys. And eventually, I did my research and I saw, no, the email is legit. It's their actual email. And I was like, what did I do? Like, I want to understand why me? What did I do good enough to be nominated for this? Like, I don't understand. And I think it was...
what can you just tell us, what is the award exactly?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was...
But it's Nickelodeon, like, Kids' Choice of the Year globally.
So it's Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award, but influencer of African influencer.
Yeah, it was African... It wasn't influencer, it was African...
social media star or something.
Yes,
African social media star, something like that. So I think... How many of us was... There was a couple of us. I think 4...
10. No, 10 altogether.
Okay, 10 in South Africa.
Yeah.
Yes. So obviously I didn't get it because COVID came, so I didn't know. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to promote this right now because they...
And they were going to fly us down, man.
Yeah.
Are you going to fly to the States?
They were going to fly us to the States.
And then COVID came, so I was like, oh, dang. And then I kind of stopped promoting it to my audience.
Yes.
Say, go vote for me and stuff like that. So that's what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to post it on your socials and say, go vote for me. And because COVID came, they told me, listen, we're going to have a bit of a pause. But it's still happening. So I was like, okay, let me know.
Yes.
And then I kind of forgot to keep posting about it. And eventually I was like, oh, it's happening. Okay, well, it was cool to be nominated.
Yeah, yes,
I
of course.
care less about winning, to be honest. I was just so
It's a surprise in itself, though.
Yeah.
No, 100%. So they would have flown you if it wasn't for COVID.
Yeah.
And both of us, which is cool.
Because
I wasn't even nominated at all.
Because like her and a partner.
Yeah.
That is insane. Nickelodeon, that is huge.
Sure. Dang, COVID.
No, but it's cool. But I mean, you're on their radar, and
That was insane for me. I was like, "What the hell? This is mind blowing."
That is so. Do you the TikTokers or the other people? You know that thing where they're like, people think like, oh, if there's that person's famous and that person famous, they almost obviously know each other, as though it's like a club.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Do you
guys?
like that,
it's
though.
not like that. I mean, you've obviously met some people that are also do it. But are you guys? It's not like you're all friends.
No,
I think like we are mutuals on like Instagram and TikTok,
like we follow
obviously.
each other and stuff like that.
But it's not like we hang out all the time or message each other all the time.
How many people are there in South Africa, do you think, that's on your level of like following?
There's a few. There's quite a few. I think majority of them like are in Cape Town, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
not many of them here.
So I think probably Joburg side. There's a few. I'd say Joburg, Gauteng vibes probably about 5 or 6.
Okay.
Victoria.
And-
Jeez, I don't know.
And
I'm not even sure, but like you say, Gauteng is in general
Yeah,
probably about
okay,
5 or 6
Gauteng
is
in
like
general.
big, like million followers plus.
okay, and
Yeah.
just to give the listener idea and myself an idea, and tell me what you're comfortable with. Don't worry, I won't keep you forever. I feel like there's so many aspects of it I want to get. Being a TikTok star in South Africa, I suppose we spoke about it just before the podcast, is like the States is such a big platform. I mean, globally, and I mean, there's so much money there and so much big brands. I know you guys have worked with brands and we can get there. I mean, I was like, have you guys worked with Lamborghini and Starbucks? How, do they contact you? Do you have you worked with? How do you work with Lamborghini? That is next level, and Starbucks and Levi's, and there's like a whole list of like premium brands. I was like, that is insane.
Okay, so let's talk about Lamborghini because they're probably our favorite. At the moment.
Lamborghinis are pride and joy.
So we don't necessarily work with the cars per se, but we are working with the energy drink. So I don't know if you've ever had a
So
Lamborghini.
Tonino Lamborghini.
Sorry?
Tonino Lamborghini.
Yeah, Tonino Lamborghini energy drink.
But is it part of the same brand as Lamborghini?
So it's under the same umbrella.
Yeah, but it's more like the luxury side of it. So it's like the energy
Oh,
drink.
Lamborghini I think generally is like
Yeah, but
Okay.
No, but I hear what you mean. Luxury goods as an aside from
like
the cars.
items.
like
Yeah.
luxury goods
Items.
like watches, sunglasses.
Okay, but it's still
clothes.
Lamborghini. That makes sense. It's fast, like
Yeah.
yeah.
But so we kind of like working with the energy drink kind of side of it.
Yeah.
And honestly, not to put any like other brands like name them, but easily one of the best I've ever tasted. It's so good.
Yes.
I promise you.
The Lamborghini energy drink.
Oh.
It's insane.
I wish we had. I would have brought some for you.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
myself,
good. Yeah.
I can't really drink energy drinks because I don't have the best heart.
Yes.
And that one I can drink without feeling like I'm going to faint.
Is it in? I don't drink energy drinks. I can't really. But is it in shops now, or is it still coming, or is
No,
it? Can you?
you can probably get it. I think right now you can probably get them at like the Sasols,
Yeah, all the Cecils have them.
but they
cool.
are like literally rolling out everywhere. I think it'll be in your pick and pay soon. And
Yeah.
So how does it work? Do they know? Okay, let's be current. Like Lamborghini's PR manager, or I'm just trying to figure out, like, or not PR manager, like their marketing managers, like, guys, we need to be current. What's okay? Lamborghini energy drink. We need to think that, we're not going to advertise in
funniest
newspapers. Let's go TikTok. Who's South African? Google South African. How does it work?
Okay, so what happened actually was, so the guy who's kind of like doing the energy drink side of it, he was like, we need to advertise. And he went to his kids and said, who's your favorite on TikTok? And I was like, no,
his
That's
kids
brilliant.
gave
Robbie
us-
and Chane. Like, don't use anyone
And
else.
that's who we went with.
Are you serious?
This
So
is-
we were blessed that,
Yeah.
that
Those
his
kids.
Yeah.
See, it helps to be nice for them. It
Yeah.
helps to be that like cool to show them your skin journey or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there's a kid going like, she helped me through a
Yeah.
tough time. That's my favorite. It's weird.
Yeah,
That
and
was
now they like
insane.
literally invite us to. They do like racing, but like with those little go karts.
Yes.
Track
Not
racing.
like but it's like not go karts like go karts as you know.
Yes.
Like they've got
Like-
like engines inside them. They go, they floor it. They do like 120 on straights, and they're not playing. So these kids like they like invite us sometimes to go watch them doing the things. We go reach out with them. They're awesome kids actually. Shout out to Musa and Adam.
Adam. Yeah.
That's so cool. So, okay, Lamborghini. Okay, and so a TikTok stock star in South Africa, right? En ja, sê vir my waarmee jy gemaklik is, what you're comfortable with. Is it okay, because you TikTok, so let's say you got 3 brands that endorse you or you endorse, and they give you product or they pay you and you don't have to do another job? Or do you still have a more traditional job and this is like a dream for the future, and in America it's enough just to, like, how does that relationship work? Is it still that something that's being figured out? Is it a negotiation? Do they give you product? Do they pay you cash? Can you make a living? So just an idea of what you do, like, I think on a daily basis in terms of work / social media.
So for me, I still have a job.
Yes.
So I work in a liquor store literally 11 hours a day, every day. The goal is to get to where I can do social media full time. That's literally the goal. I enjoy content creation. I enjoy, today I took photos for Chane, and that part of it, I wasn't necessarily a subject of the photos being taken. So and that wasn't like a thing for me. So it's not like say, well, I didn't get photos taken of me, I'm upset. I enjoy doing that for her, and I know she would enjoy doing it for me. But that content creation in general, I enjoy doing it because there's something that we made and it came from nowhere. So we had to go and think about, okay, well, she's wearing a certain outfit and we need to make the pose and the background kind of look fit the outfit she's wearing kind of thing. So I think with a lot of the content creation, and this might be lead on to your question you asked earlier about what makes good content. I think there is a bit of thought process behind it, as much as you also want it to be whimsical. So yeah, I think it is. I enjoy the content creation behind it, and I would like to get into it where it's more, literally all the stuff that I do every day.
Yeah.
But right now, it's not sustainable at the moment. I think with COVID, it's kind of hit us a bit.
Yes.
But hopefully, when things kind of ease up a bit, then we can get back into the swing of things.
100%.
You can also for
Chane,
yourself.
moet jy werk? Of-
I do it full time at the moment. Social media, content creation, branding, promo, all that. I do full time at the moment.
That is
That's
amazing.
I make my income at the moment.
So brands would pay you to endorse their things. Obviously, you need to believe in it and you would like to endorse
That's
it.
one thing that I'm very
Fussy about, or
yeah,
strict
I'm very
about, yeah.
strict on that. If I don't like the product, I'm not gonna want to be paid for it.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's where the authenticity comes in. Like if
Yes.
it's something we like, this brand of beer
Yes.
is not going to be something that I can advertise to 13-year-olds.
Yes.
We're not going to accept it.
Yes.
Because we know, okay, listen,
Even if they
this
want to
is-
pay us big cash, I mean, we all want to make a living. We all want to make money, but I'm not going to accept a bucket load of money for something that I don't believe in myself.
100%, because that also means like in a year's time, people are going to feel like, oh, no, I don't believe in her anymore. She's
Yeah.
just,
They're going to think she's just doing and posting everything just to make cash.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they want to. They've got a relationship with you in a weird way. Your
Yeah,
fans
definitely.
walk a path
No,
with
we're all a
you.
little family.
You are family. That is so cool. Okay, so jy kan like on a you, if you can just say like op 'n Wednesday morning, I'm just like taking any day, you would wake up.
Yeah.
And then would you like plan? Okay, I've got this shoot, or I've got how would a day in your work life. You know, I think
Okay.
for friends of ours who have office jobs or work in liquor stores.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not busy with stuff every day. It really depends on when a brand wants to work. So a brand will contact me in the beginning of the month, but they only want content done at the end of the month. So it depends on when they run their campaigns. You can get multiple campaigns. There's some weeks where I am overwhelmed with campaigns that I literally don't know what to do with myself, that I literally get overwhelmed with anxiety and I cry and I'm just off that day, that I maybe postpone my stuff a little bit just to work on myself a bit, because you have to do that. You have to prioritize yourself and put your mental health first.
100%.
But there's weeks that I do nothing. Okay, not weeks. Let's say a week out of a month that I have nothing to do, and I
Yes.
just do some nitty gritty content just to keep my account alive and keep people entertained.
Yes.
But there is times that I have a lot to do, like if it's a day for content and I book that day in my mind.
Yes.
I book that day out for content. I wake up, I go have breakfast, I go shower, do hair, makeup, pick out my outfit, and I'm like, okay, today I have to do, let's say the other day I had to do Milky, First Choice Milky. I had to do that. I had to do Wildlife Collections. I had to do My Smooth Skin. I had to do a lot of brands in that
gosh.
one day, and Kapshi and everything.
And then
I
you've
had
got
so
you
much
you
to do.
brainstorm and figure out your own thing. It's not like they say we want you to stand here and take a photo.
No, I ask the brand, listen, you can give me a brief
Yes.
that will be appreciated, so I can have a little bit of a look and feel of what you want. But I appreciate creative freedom, because
Yes.
obviously, not to sound arrogant at all, but
Yes,
as
sorry,
the
my chair's just-
creator
yeah,
or the influencer, you know a bit more what your audience wants.
100%. So
So-
you've got to kind of marry the brand's needs with what you want to put out.
Yeah, I always ask for a brief. I'm saying I'm
Yes.
not going to do something if you don't give me a brief and
Yes.
say exactly what you expect from me, but
Yes.
I'm going to do it with my twist on it.
100%.
So it
There's
Otherwise,
nothing worse
other-
than a company that just doesn't give you creative
Yeah.
freedom. They kind of tell you, listen, we want this.
exactly.
And
And you're like, this is not going to work for me.
Audience does
because
not
they're contacting
resonate with
you.
that at all.
They want, if they're contacting Roberto, then they must know they're getting the Roberto flavor.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and some companies just don't want that,
And
eh?
they fight you on it. And then when your video doesn't do well because your followers aren't interested in it, they're kind of like, oof, that video didn't do so well. And you're like, yeah, because you didn't listen.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
not and it's not good for either party. Then.
Yeah, it's not good for either of us. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that company's not going to want to work with me again
Yeah.
because, no,
They
his
think
content
you
doesn't do
just-
well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
then-
cool. So the more authentic you actually stay, the more pure you stay to your essence,
Yeah.
the more brands are like, I'm just throwing a name out there. Nike will be like, yes, did you see what
Shut
they...
up, Nike. Please sponsor
Please
us.
sponsor.
Nike. so, for instance, will they contact? I know you guys are with PR-wise, you're with Starburst
Yeah.
Promotions.
Yeah, shout out Starburst, actually.
Starburst,
We love
yes.
them.
Alicia,
Starburst is
Gisela, all the people
Yeah.
there.
We love
So
them.
They're awesome. So the brand would contact you personally, either on TikTok, either email, or them, or whatever, and then
For the
got
most
you.
part, we connected Alicia's email with our
Yes,
stuff,
I
because
saw,
then
yes.
because we sometimes get too busy and we don't get to our emails. So they manage that for us, because then they can also,
Yes.
if you get very inappropriate
They can filter
inquiries,
that.
they can be like, no, Shane's not going to be
Yes.
interested in this. Robbie does not do that. So that's very nice. But yes, they do. Some of them do contact us, Alicia,
Yes.
and sometimes Alicia goes out and finds things for us.
I'd say majority of the time they kind of come up to us. Though.
Yeah.
They like the flavor of what we got going on.
Yeah.
And the children say, they're my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and once again, I never know if this is an appropriate or inappropriate question, but you can guide me. Like, then Alicia, your PR company, does that, like, so for me, I've got an acting agent. So would
Yeah.
that be like, if she gets a commission of a cut or whatever the deal, or you pay them a salary, a monthly, whatever, or that's just
Yeah, so it kind of works in two sections, I guess. So you'd say we've got Alicia, who'd be our manager.
Yes.
We love you, Alicia.
yes.
So she's
Starburst,
like
that's
our
a
manager.
PR.
It would be like
Yes.
one company.
Yeah.
And then Starburst
Yes.
is the PR. So Alicia would get a cut off of our the stuff we do.
Okay, got
And then
you.
Starburst we'd obviously pay because we're contracting them essentially as
Yeah.
a PR company kind of thing.
Got you. Okay. So now I'm going to ask a very selfish question quickly, if this is okay.
Okay.
And this is my own personal insecurity coming to the fore now. I've kept it at bay for an hour now, this personal insecurity, but I want to get it out because I've got my own journey with like, okay, following, and I'm like, then I see you guys, and I'm like, and at the ones on the one end, I'm just like, you're on a completely different level. So I'm like, that's awesome. It's like looking at an amazing sports player and just being like, just admiring the talent,
Yeah.
and not putting them on a pedestal. I'm like, it's awesome, connect with you, feel
Yeah.
like equal human beings.
Yeah.
The
They
same-
should be.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. At the same time, so can you? I suppose I'm asking you where you guys think, as people that are pioneers in the social media field, where you think it's going. So, in terms of, I am trying to figure out, like, yes, I want to keep on working as an actor, as having a podcast, whatever, but I spend too much time, not too much, but I spend lots of time scrolling and stuff, and that whole thing, without, and I'm kind of in this like split mind, whether somebody recently told me, Margriet Groenewald, shout out, weet jy wie's Margriet Groenewald? Oh, anyway, she's a social media specialist kind of, but she's brilliant, and she I had like this session with her, and she told me like, put out content consistently, blah, blah, blah. But then I had this question to myself, like, do I actually see myself, do I want to be that? Because then I'm going to have to put in the time. And there's a part of me that's like, yes, I feel like I've got something to say, something to show. But then there's also a part of me like, I don't know if I'm that person. It doesn't come naturally to me. When you meet people, do you value, this is an interesting question, but it's almost like, if they are not on social media huge, does that devalue them as human beings?
Okay, so
Do you know what I'm asking?
yeah,
You
yeah, I
can
get
take
you.
it wherever you want to go.
So basically, you kind of want to know, like, do we treat people with a higher following than us a little bit differently than we would someone who just has 100 followers?
What I'm saying
Okay.
is, me as someone, let's say I've got 2 followers
Okay.
on
Okay.
whatever, or 0 followers,
Okay.
and we meet each other, and you can be very honest, not selfish, you can just be very blatant about
blunt,
it. Do you
yeah.
see the person differently if they've got no following, almost like shaking their hands and realizing they've got no following, versus meeting someone they've got 1 billion followers? Or is it purely like, oh, that's their thing?
So, okay, I think I can speak for both of us when I say this. If I greet someone that has 2 followers or 200,000 followers, so 200,000 is less followers than I have. So two followers or 200,000 followers, they're the same to me. If I meet someone like Charlie D'Amelio with like 110 million followers, I don't treat her differently because she's got more followers. I treat her differently because
You've worked
I
hard.
respect your craft. I respect where you're going. So I treat you with the respect to say, listen, you know what, you've worked hard and I aspire to be where you are.
Well, obviously,
But-
you like fangirl a little bit, like
Yeah, you kind
you've
of
made
like
a living. You've
you set for life. Yeah.
yeah.
And that content creation is a craft.
Yeah. So I respect your craft. I respect where you're going, and I respect you for what you've done. But
But
you
you're
are
still
no
a human
better than that
being.
person.
Yeah.
As a human being,
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
So you can meet someone, they've got no following, and you can still think this is the biggest legend because they've got a great heart and spirit.
Yeah,
Whatever, I
exactly.
don't care that they don't have a social media following.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of our friends, I think we've even hung out with on a personal level where we just like, don't make videos. We don't care about videos. We just want to hang out with you
Yeah.
because we like you as a person.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Like, I mean, so, I think there's a few of our friends that they're fairly big on TikTok,
yeah.
but they're smaller than us. So they've got
don't
their followings,
care.
cool.
Doesn't matter.
But it's just not something that you're like, oh yes, you definitely have to have X, Y, Z.
Sorry, I think my phone. Let me. 1 second. It was my phone. Sorry, guys.
Cool.
I
No
thought it
stress.
was on airplane jaw. It doesn't matter.
There's still something going. The donor?
No, don't worry. We're good there.
Okay,
That was
okay.
the aliens. Elon Musk. He's.
Oh, he's
no,
just
yeah,
sorted.
we're doing a podcast with him next.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
So. Yes, but that's beautiful to me. So I think that's empowering. Like what you just did to me, for me now, right?
Okay.
So you just the skin video you did
Yeah.
for other people, you guys did that to me now, which is awesome. And I think the listeners as well. And that's what's probably going to make them, and I want to ask you now where people can follow you and stuff, what's going to make them tune in. Because it's so cool seeing when somebody's doing something right and then going like, oh, okay, so I don't have to feel,
It was mine.
Oh, well.
I think it was too close to
It's
this.
cool that people are like, now they can listen to this and be like, I don't have to feel inferior as a human being because I have got this job or no job and I've got 0 followers. As a human being, I can still be special, whatever.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If you're
It's
just
not-
yourself, we're happy with you.
Yeah, so like I think it's they say that your vibe attracts your tribe kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So like I mean there'll be certain people, like I'm not trying to say everybody, there's certain people that will look up to Chane more than they'll look up to me and say like, wow, Chane is like the best thing in the world. But it's cool that you're here, that kind of thing, because you get those little girls that just love Chane.
Yeah.
They want to be like her, they want to dress like her, they want to
Chane.
have her hair.
You guys have
that kind of
awesome
thing.
dress sense, by the way. You look badass, bro.
Thank
That
you.
outfit's awesome and you look super
Appreciate
cool.
it.
Yeah, keep
Appreciate
on
it.
cruising.
But then you get like you get people that just were like, hey, I seen you on TikTok, like, hey, I respect you for that. Like, you built a following, good for you. And I think it's that same mentality where it's like, I see what you did there and high five, bro.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's not necessarily like, listen, you take my seat because you're better than me.
100%.
And I think it kind of works with us as well, in the same sense where you're like, yeah, you got a lot of followers. I mean, there's people with more followers than me that if I meet them, I'm just like cool. If you're gonna be like an a-hole, I'm not gonna be like, hey, like
100%.
you're great because you have more followers than me. I don't care.
Yes.
Like if you're gonna be a cool guy, then hey, come shake
Yeah.
my hand, man. Like let's hang out. What are you doing?
No.
I don't make content. Let's just hang out.
That's
kind of thing.
awesome. I think that's cool. That humanizes people
Yeah.
again, you guys again. Because I know, like Alicia and like everyone who's spoken about you behind your backs have just been saying the nicest things. Honestly,
that's
they were
awesome to
like,
know.
yes,
That's
these
good
two
to
are the
know, yeah.
best. These two are such kiff people. So, Shana,
True.
I
I
think,
haven't
did
heard
you
them
want to
in
add
ages.
to something he was saying now?
Actually, yes.
Yes.
In my opinion, like people, like I wanted to add, like I see it exactly as he does. We're all the same. If we have 1 million followers and 10 followers, we're the same. If you treat me like a human being, I treat you like a human being. But also, I think the thing that makes us very down to earth is I cannot stand it when someone calls me famous. I cannot stand it. I can't stand it when people say, you fans.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm internet popular. I'm not,
No,
and even
like-
that's like a stretch.
like, cool, I have a following. Like, I'm blessed for that, but that doesn't make me famous.
Yeah.
I'm a
Normal person.
normal person. Like, I can't, like,
Yeah, they almost use it as a weapon sometimes. Like, oh, but
Yes.
you're famous now. And you're like, I'm just trying to do my thing, man.
and I'm like, no, I'm just doing my thing. I'm lucky and blessed that I got the followers, and I'm
It's like walking
super
around like
grateful.
you're an accountant, therefore, and you're like, no, this is
No.
my. I don't like use accountant as an insult towards you. Why are you trying to say, oh,
Yes.
you're just a TikToker? Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
what do you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
so
Sorry.
true.
No. And also there's like days where we're out in the mall and like a little girl will notice me, and I've gotten it so many times where little girls cried when they see me, and I'm like, but no, I'm just normal. I could be like
Yes.
you. I could have been your sister, and you wouldn't have done this. Like you wouldn't have seen me this way. I'm
Yes.
The
literally
way her brother does.
yes.
Her brother treats her like she's like. Eh.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like his friends.
Sometimes he's more excited to see me than he is to see you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like his friends will always want to know a little bit more about me. And I was like, it's just my sister, man. Calm down. Calm down.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's how I want other people to see me. I don't want you to treat me better and like I'm this amazing person
Yes.
just because I have a following.
Yes.
Like I'm eating at the same table as you.
Yes.
Like I grew up the same way as you did. We literally come from the same place. I was born in Limpopo. I lived in Limpopo in Lutrichard.
Yeah.
Literally a klein dorpie. And people
Precies.
don't want to believe that. They're like, no, you're from
Yes.
somewhere else. You're like Lonnie, Joburg, or Cape
Yes.
Townian, or actually you born in South Africa, live in America. I'm like, no, I'm literally
I think that makes it
Small
even
town
cooler,
girl.
the fact that you own it. The fact because that makes it reachable for people. Because that I think that's like the beauty. It's looking at like people who make amazing things. Often it's people who weren't born into everything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you weren't born into everything, but what I'm saying is like you had a path.
yeah.
You had a journey.
We
so it
weren't
means
born
like,
into this.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
happened. It just happened when we're blessed and grateful. that it happened, but like it wasn't just something that was thrown into our laps.
But I appreciate it. I think it started with you guys taking micro brave decisions, like putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
That gets rewarded, I think. Like, I know we almost...
it's okay.
But I do think so, because putting yourself out there is exposing, and it's like, it's vulnerable.
It's scary, because I mean, you're literally putting yourself out there for people to judge you.
100%.
And we all know how harsh the internet can be.
I'm super sensitive. Do you guys still, like, if it is a negative comment, also does it get to you at times?
So
depends on what the comment is.
Yeah, it used to get a lot to me, like to the point where I wanted to like reply and be like, listen, why are you being like this? Like, explain to me your thought process and why you want to say these things.
And what do you
like,
gain from this?
What do you get from this?
Yes.
And you kind of find out, no, these people just want to do this to get a rise out of you. Or it's there was this one guy who used to like talk. I don't know if I can say shit, but used to talk.
No, you can. People have Jack Parrow's been on the podcast. You know, what he said.
Okay.
So he used to talk shit about Chane, and he'd like try and like sexualize her and like
talk
about you know they're in that direction.
Inappropriate.
And then he'd kind of like at me about it, and then you're like, oh, so you're looking for shit, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
And you kind of like, okay, and then you kind of find out what he's. So one time I did reply to him, and I'm like, listen, bro, like, calm down.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, this thing, whatever. And he says he's going to get people to smack me. And like, I don't want to fight you, bro. I'm just asking you to lay off my girl, bro. Like, that's
What
all I'm
about the
asking.
one that said he's going to come to your house?
Yeah. I was like, come to my house, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, I know where you live. I was like, come.
Yeah.
I've got nice things waiting for you there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get people like that, and then just to come find out, I think my mom was on his live, just checking up and just
That he actually idolizes.
Yeah, and he's like, no, I think King Bird is so cool, and
he just wanted to be part. He just wanted to be seen by you.
Yeah,
really.
and the thing is, he wanted me to kind of retaliate so that I would put his name on my platform.
100%.
And he
just wants
literally
your
admitted
attention.
it.
Oh, really?
He admitted. He said, I want to be on the platform. I don't have issue
I
with
just want
Robbie or Chane.
clout.
That's the thing.
And he literally said it, and I'm like, but don't you? There's better ways of doing that, bro.
That's a cuck way of doing it.
There's so many people that we're friends with that we weren't even following at a stage.
Yeah.
And we hang out with them now all the time.
And we show them on our profiles all the time just because we want to,
Because
not because
you
they
want
asked.
to.
Yeah.
Because
it's just like,
authentic and
these are my
it's
mates
real.
now because we like their vibe.
Well, but I think he's lucky that he did it with guys that are gracious, like you guys. Like, you are big enough to go like, okay.
I blocked the guy. I was so sick and
Yeah, I
tired of
blocked
his
him too.
content.
No,
I was
I
just
can
like, you're
imagine.
not gonna. And he stopped because we both blocked him. He wasn't getting anything out of us anymore.
Yeah.
They planned that they were going to get some girl to try and flirt with me, and then they were going to blackmail me for like 2,000 so they wouldn't tell Chane. I was like, yo, guys, Chane has my Instagram. If you guys DM, you're going to get through to her.
Yes, exactly.
So, honestly, yeah, it's clown people.
Yeah.
So
bro, but
the haters, they try their shit.
they try this shit, and it's an indirect compliment, bro. It's like
Yeah.
they want to be part of your platform. They see what you're doing, so they want a bit of your shine.
So you kind of have to just learn to either ignore it or block and
Yes.
delete, and
No, that's
keep
our
on
motto:
going.
block and delete.
Yes.
I'm out
Yes. Guys, last two questions. I know it's like time. Thank you so much for sharing so much, Rich. For me, it's so weird how this came across. Personally, I was on such a social media. It was such a big thing for me to figure out where I want to go. And I'm probably going to listen back to this and just because for me, this is this is an informative episode. It's something that I think lots of people who listen to this.
Yeah.
It's not like just get to know this person, their personality. It's that as well, but it's also like you guys are teaching us, especially people maybe older than 20, 30 maybe, that's more like Instagram, Facebook. They're like, wow, it's a whole new world. You're teaching us and you're doing it so generously. So two things I just yes, two things I quickly just wanted to, there were more things, but anyways, it doesn't matter. Two things I quickly wanted to check. Do you have future dreams inside and outside of social media that you are willing to share? And you can just speak inside social media or outside, whatever.
Okay, so inside social media, I think I want to get a lot more into YouTube as well. Just because I feel like it's a different ball game to TikTok. So TikTok's very short and quick and to the point, and that's what people are consuming a lot of. So we'll stay on TikTok. But YouTube's very storytelling for me. So I would like to get a little bit onto YouTube as well. We do have a couple accounts that we're gonna start posting when we just need to get our shit together.
Yes, plug, yes.
But it's more a case of, I want to get more into YouTube and kind of do that for the social media part. Then on a personal level, honestly, my main goal is to just be happy. Yeah. I just want to do the thing I love to do and do it with the people I love to do it with.
I love that. That's human. That's like,
Yeah.
and whatever happens from there is a bonus.
Yeah,
All
exactly,
the positives
exactly.
that come from that.
So I want to do it with the people I love to do it with, and just be happy on a personal level. Obviously, social media wise, keep climbing and growing and do my thing because
Yes,
it helps at the end of the day. But
100%.
yeah, the main goal I think is happiness. I think overall,
Yes.
social media and personal.
Shanae, similar.
It's very similar. I think we just want to establish ourselves even more in the thing that we are now. Like we obviously grown so much, but you can.
There's always room for improvement.
There's
Yes.
always room for improvement. Be like step out and branch out to even more things. Like
Yes.
even if it is branching out to like I definitely myself.
Yeah.
I definitely want to go into motivational speaking.
Yes.
I would definitely want to go into that
Yes.
because I know kids take home what I say.
Yes.
And they definitely listen to what I say. So I would love to be someone that talks to women and talks
Yes.
to kids.
That's so cool.
Even we're very strong on the topic of mental health.
Yeah.
So we
Join the club.
Okay, so yeah, we're just very, very, very strong on mental health, and we want to get that point across that it's very important.
100%. Join the club. I think we all have our own journey. And social media is a
Definitely.
big thing to navigate.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a big breeding ground for people to get mentally in their heads.
100%.
So yeah, it is something close to our hearts, but
Yes.
we'll work on that in the time coming.
100%. So guys, I appreciate it so much. I know I can literally speak to you guys for days because you guys are
Same.
are generous and warm and kind, and like also it's so cool that you don't like keep all the information to yourself, and I think that's
No, we want people to learn from what we've been through.
100%.
We want people to also grow and prosper.
That's so cool. I wish you all the best. And then just to finish off, where can people, whoever's listening now, like, where can they follow you on what's the right tags on the different platforms? Shanae?
So TikTok and Instagram and YouTube is our main platforms. So my TikTok is just Chane Grobler, plain just like that.
CH Shanae, yeah?
Yeah, Chane Grobler.
There we go.
And Instagram.
Lutrigard.
Yeah.
Represent. People are going to love hearing about the real part of the journey.
Yeah.
The motivational. I've only word, I was perfect when I was born. They want to hear like, yes, I come from here, the high parts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not your typical story that they expected.
And that's cool.
Yeah. Instagram, Shanae_Grobler18, and just search Chane Grobler on YouTube. And then we have our couples account that's Robbine, so Robbine with
Yes.
a little accent.
It's like the Brangelina vibe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
Robbie, Shanae, combined, yeah.
And
So
yours?
me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, it's all literally the same thing. Kingberto, K1NGBERT0. So the 1 and the 0 was the number I used to have when I played soccer.
Nice.
That was number 10. So,
Nice.
Kingberto with the 1 and the 0, and yeah, it's literally all my platforms: Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Awesome. And I just want to tell the people, listeners, also like there's a reason why they are where they are. And I can see it now also meeting you guys. You guys got the social media going, but because I can see you guys have the spirit and the heart. So I appreciate you
Definitely.
guys.
Really appreciate it. Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us. This was super fun.
Thanks
was
so
Let's do
much.
this again soon.
Yeah.
please.
Yes, you guys are amazing. I've got so much more to say. You guys
Okay,
are
cool.
incredible.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Part 2 coming soon.
Yes.